Good evening. Welcome to the Metaphysical Journey. This is my first recording done exclusively for my new site. I've recorded in a variety of other places, but I wanted this to be special. I like recording because of the filtering, for one thing, but also because it allows me to pull the cards ahead of time, really think into them and collect my thoughts into the cards, and then prepare basic talking points that helps me keep on track as I deliver a message. For this one, I am not going to be scripted. I'm just going to go with it. So we'll see how this turns out. I think it'll be fine. I like to pull a variety of different tools together in readings. Usually it involves oracle cards. Now I'm incorporating some tarot cards, and also too, from time to time, I like to pull in runes. I have a large collection of decks, oracle decks, and I like to mix and match and pull from them. For this particular reading, I began by first asking the question, what are we really wanting out of life? And this comes from a long conversation I had earlier today with my friend Kapatahi, and we were discussing many things. And I came away from that conversation asking myself, what am I really trying to get out of life? And that's a huge question, because if you think about it, our entire life, every single thing about us is marketed to us by someone else. Everything we wear, everything we eat, our clothing, our homes, our cars, every single thing is influenced externally, usually through marketing. And we work so hard, we strive so hard to have that. And so on the surface, when we get readings from other people, what we're thinking is, I want abundance, I want wealth, I want partnerships, I want all of these wonderful things because that's what I need, because that will make me happy. Look at your success where you are now. Are you happy? Is it giving you what you think it should be giving you? If you're like a lot of people, the answer probably is no. So what are we really searching for? What do we truly, truly want for ourselves, for our lives? So I pulled a rune, and the rune I pulled is Jira. And this represents harvest. So when I pulled the rune, I pulled this first and then the oracle cards second. The oracle cards were going to be kind of a confirmation of this. When I first looked at this, I thought, oh, awesome. This is going to be great. You know, wealth is coming. Good times are going to roll in. And yes, it can mean that. But there's also another part of this too, is in the harvest, it's a cycle. And sometimes you can have a really great harvest that's coming up and there's a storm or something happens and it totally destroys it. Now, we're not going for a destruction reading on this, I'll tell you up front, but there's so many different facets to it. Also in a harvest, there are a lot of steps that go into that. There's the preparing the soil, planting the seeds, taking care of the crops, making sure everything's watered, fertilized, all of that. It's a whole process that you have to go through in order to get that abundant harvest. So I thought, great, this was going to be good. So this could be a great reading. Then I pulled the oracle cards. And normally I would use a different deck or a couple of different decks. But for whatever reason tonight, I felt drawn to go to a deck that I have not used before. I think I might have pulled one or two cards for something, but I've never done a reading. And that deck is Ask Your Guides by Sonia Choquette. And I thought, why this deck? This tends to be when you really want to do soul searching or inward work or something. It's got a totally different energy to it, but this is what I felt led to use tonight. So I pulled 3 cards and I want to talk about those. And when I saw them, I thought these don't match the rune at all. It's totally different. And it's like I was led to go back and look at the rune, even closer, look deeper into that. And I did. And what I picked up from that is thinking, are we harvesting what we really want to be harvesting? We're doing so much prep work. Are we getting the harvest that we want? And I believe that we're not. The first card that I got, so what are we looking for? What do we really want? Is forgiveness. Now, this is weird. You can't really grow forgiveness. So why would forgiveness be here? It's like, well, maybe that is what we're really searching for, what we truly want. We want forgiveness. So the next question to ask is that forgiveness from a person? Have we done something wrong? Or is that from within ourselves? And I'm going to go with it's from within ourselves. And why would we want to forgive ourselves? What have we done? Well, there's a long list of things of how we perceive our lives, how we perceive our actions, how we interpret things a certain way that other people maybe would not. And they might have been involved in whatever it is that we want forgiveness from. Forgiveness often comes from guilt, that we have guilt for something. We all have pasts. There are things we're not proud of. We can't go back and change them. We can replay them in our minds over and over. We can talk to the people involved and ask them for forgiveness. But what we walk away with, regardless of what the people say, what we walk away with is the feeling within ourselves. We can forget everything, but we will never forget how we felt. And it's that feeling of emotion that we carry with us that just eats away at us. And the longer it lasts, it develops into feelings of guilt and feeling unworthy, and just constantly replaying over and over in our minds what we did and the actions that we took. And we just can't let that go. We truly beat ourselves up. So forgiveness, when you receive forgiveness, when you've done something and another person says, I forgive you, you feel this great sense of relief, this release that goes, it's like, okay, it's good. I can now move forward. But if the forgiveness that you're seeking is coming from within yourself, you are the only one that can tell yourself, it's okay, I forgive, it's fine, there's nothing to worry about, move on, to give yourself that release. So forgiveness is definitely one of the things that we are seeking in life. The second card is love. Now, this makes perfect sense. Everyone wants to be loved. It's a great thing. But what does that mean for us personally to be loved? If other people tell us that they love us, that's good. We can accept that. Do we always believe it? Or if we've been hurt many times before, do we just wait for the pattern to start over again? We wait for them to do something. It's like, okay, here we go. You know, the other person said they love me too, and now look what's happening. So love is great from external sources, but it's even better if it comes from within ourselves. And if we are going around and we're not forgiving ourselves, forgiveness is the ultimate form of love. The greatest benefit of love that there can be is when you can truly forgive someone. So if we're seeking love, it's possible that we have not truly forgiven ourselves. And that's something that we're looking for. It's a deep thing, because once you have love for yourself and you can forgive yourself, it opens up so many doors, and it allows you to move forward in life. And you will understand and believe that I'm worthy. I really am worthy of this. Now, I'll be perfectly honest with you. It's easy in a reading for the sitter to tell, for the reader to tell the sitter all these great things. This is what you need to do. You need to forgive and move on and love yourself, etc. But do you know that a lot of the readers suffer from the same thing that you do? They have just as many insecurities. They have the same amount of problems, the same self-worth issues, all of that, because we're human. We all carry those. You do have a large group of people that are there to give to other people. And that's what the card readers, the light workers, all the different people in service to others in whatever form it takes, that's what they do. They set themselves aside and they give to other people. But at the same time, on the inside, they're hurting. And part of the conversation I had earlier with my friend Cap Kapotahi, Cap for short, we talked about that at length. And the question was, why do we feel the way we do about things, about ourselves? Why is it easier to be there for someone else and to give to them when we can't seem to accept it for ourselves? And I had a quick answer. I said, well, there are three things. Number one, because we believe that that's our purpose here on earth, that that's what we're here to do. We're here to serve, to be of service of others. Number two is that we want to provide information to someone and give them encouragement to help them not hurt the way that maybe we're hurting. And each of us do that. When you reach out to someone and you show them support and compassion and love, that's really what you're doing. It's your way of saying, I don't want you to hurt the way that I hurt. I don't want you to feel the way that I feel. This is what parents do with their children. This is what we do with anyone that we love. We try to step in and take that away. We serve as kind of a Band-Aid to help them, to say, please don't feel the way that I feel on the inside. I want it to be better for you. We've heard many times, and you've said it too, I'm sure, when something tragic happens to another person, you say something along the lines of, if I could change it, I would. And you would, because that's the type of person that you are. And love is easy to give away, but it's really hard to feel on the inside. And that's what the second card was about. The third thing we're looking for is courage. Courage. This has many different forms. It's the courage to move forward with your life in spite of everything you've been through, to move forward with your life, to step out there and make it better. Because we realize that we are the creators of our life. The life we're living today is the life we created yesterday, the day before, the day before. The old saying of every morning, I don't know the exact saying, but the idea is that every morning when you wake up, it's a fresh new start. It's a brand new day. Yesterday is over. Today's a new day. That is very true. However, we go into this new journey of today with all the suitcases, baggage, luggage, and carry-on stuff from the days and days before, and we just continue that one more day forward. It's a rat race, never ends. It shouldn't have to be that way. And we search for the courage to step outside of that mold, that pattern, that trench that we've dug ourselves into. It's not just a trench like a dirt ditch. We have like bricked up the walls. It's architecturally supported. It's perfect. We've put a lot of time and effort into our trench to make sure that we're comfortable while we're there. But it's nevertheless a trench, and we're stuck in it. And it's hard to get out of that rut. It's also hard because in our lives, people come to know us in a certain way, and it's hard to step outside of that because they have expectations of who we are supposed to be. Again, as I said in the very beginning, everything comes externally into us, shaping us into the people that we are. It's hard to step outside of that. It would be just as challenging to be a huge steak and potatoes person and then suddenly announce to everyone you know that I am now a vegetarian. More power to the vegetarians. They are truly brave, because it's like, what? What do you mean? Why are you shifting? Who are you? We don't know who you are anymore. That's a humorous example, but that is our life. That's how it is. We don't have the courage to truly be ourselves of what we know that we want to be at this moment in time based on everything that we've been through. And that is something that we're searching for. We know we want forgiveness. We want to forgive ourselves. We know we want love. We give lots of love. Why can't we receive it back? And if we don't have forgiveness and love within ourselves, if we can't feel it, it's easy for someone to say it, but until we truly accept it on the inside, it doesn't really exist in our viewpoint sometimes. So finding the courage to move forward is a very hard thing to do. And I think that's what a lot of people do when they go for card readings, is that I believe many times they already know the answer. We know the answer. We have gut instincts or intuition. We know what it's going to be. And we're just not really, we don't have the courage to face it. We don't have the courage to face ourselves. We don't have the courage to take responsibility for our own actions that got us to where we are at this particular place in time. And we're looking for external information to come in to tell me it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine. And that I'll believe. But will I actually receive? More than likely not, because on the inside, I don't feel that I'm worthy of it. So for this reading, I like to try to give solutions. And on this one, I'm going to be very honest. I don't know the answer, because just like you, I'm in the same situation. It's a day-to-day walk. I do my best. I try to be of service to other people. I love doing readings and helping people where I can. And I don't have the solution, but I can tell you this: you are not alone in what you're going through. This is part of the journey of being a spiritual being, having a human experience. And that's why we're here on earth. We're here to experience all the emotions, all of the stuff that really sets us back. We are going to be walking through life with one obstacle in front of us after the other. It never ends. And the point of providing assistance to others, the reason why card readers, whether it's tarot, oracle, it doesn't matter what it is, any type of thing, whether they use a pendulum, there's a variety of different tools that they use beautifully. The whole purpose behind that is they are wanting to assist you, not in necessarily avoiding the obstacles. Some definitely we want to avoid, but there are some things that you do have to walk through. And what we're here to do is to help you get through it, not necessarily around it, over it, or under it, to get through it, because it's in those hard moments, in those challenges, that you are going to grow more than you've ever grown before. And that's what each of us face. We all have our obstacles. And during that process, we are searching for forgiveness, for love, from release from the past, and releasing that from within ourselves, and the courage to keep moving forward. I hope these cards have resonated with you. If so, please leave comments. I thank you so much for joining me on my very first video for the metaphysical journey. I have a lot of fun things planned for this. I'll do card readings. I do want to do some lives as well. Those are a little more scary for me, because, you know, it's kind of on the fly, but I know that it'll be good. I'm ready for this. So thank you so much for your time, and I hope that you each have a beautiful evening. And tomorrow, love yourself. You're worthy. You matter. Good evening.